everyone, Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with Run Smart Online. Just making sure I'm live here. I want to talk to you guys about running form because we're getting ready to launch the Midfoot Project where we're going to teach people how to improve their run form. It's 5 weeks long. If you want to learn more about that, go to midfootproject.com. I want to talk about a couple things right now because really my goal, I've been going live like every single day talking about run form, and I want you guys to at least, if you join me for the Midfoot Project, excellent, I'll show you everything I know about how to make this change. But what I at least want you guys to do is to start thinking about changing yourself, whether it's with me or with someone else, or spending hours on YouTube trying to figure it all out or whatever. But I want to show you the way people mostly run and what to avoid in your running, because both of them are going to cause you to slow down, waste a ton of energy, and create a couple different types of injuries. So I'm going to show you two different runners, and they're both not doing what we exactly want. And often one of them is actually doing, when they try to fix it themselves, this is where they end up. So let me show you this new software. I'm not very good at using this thing, so let's hope for the best. And I want to show you these two runners. So the first runner I've shown in the past, just kind of reiterate, just showing you guys this, that the typical runner will come through. If you look at this right video, this one over here, see, I'm not very good at using this. And when most runners swing through, like let's look at that right leg as it comes through. It's going to swing through, and it's going to get to this point of full extension through the leg. And that full extension creates a battering ram for the leg. It's like the same reason why when you jump and land, you don't land with straight knees, because you get your bones locked and you jam into them. This is typically how most people run. They have their knee completely straight, their toes pulled up in the air, and they create this battering ram. So a couple of things wrong with this: it puts a ton of shock through your knees, and then also, if you look at the force that's going to be happening here, see if I can try this one more time, the ground's going to follow this arrow. It's going to be pushing up back against the body, so you can see how that's driving the runner backwards. Her center of mass is falling back here. So anyone who would try to stand up and hold this position, right? I'm going to go back to me. If I were to stand up, put my heel out in front, and pick up my back leg, you're falling backwards every single time because your foot is out in front of your center of mass. It's bad for your knees, and it's very, like, I call it tapping the brakes. Like every time you take a step and you have that heel planted out to the front, you jam into the ground and you tap the brake. So you can run this way, but it is not the best way to run. Just like you can swing a golf club a certain way, like me, and it doesn't make it right just because I'm swinging a club. There is a good way and a better way to run, and that's what we teach the Midfoot Project. The trouble is when people make a transition and they try to start getting away from their heel, they get away from the straight knee, is that they transition to what I'm going to show you in this next runner, which is a huge problem because you end up way overloading your calves. Instead of increased risk for knee injuries, you're actually increasing your risk for foot and ankle injuries this way. So let me show you this next runner. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments while I'm doing this. I'll see if I can answer some here at the end. But let me show you this other runner on the other side. So we see this one straight kneed. We look at the other one. He's just going to swing through. Watch his legs swing through. We're looking over here now. I wish I could just go back to one of these, but I'm not really sure how to do this. So if you watch his right leg swing through, he gets to this point, and he's going to try to hit his midfoot here. Let's see if I can draw on him a little bit. He's going to try to hit his midfoot, but you can see how far off the ground he is. And when a runner typically does this, and this is what we found over the last 10 years, is that when you have this much hang time, you get kind of bored out there and you start reaching for the ground. So now watch what he does. If he were to come straight down, we would maybe say it's an okay midfoot strike, but really not because he's so far up in the air. Watch him plant his toe to the ground right here. So if we look at this now, where the runner on the other side had this big heel strike moment, that's the orange lines I just drew in there. This runner is having the opposite happen to his running. He has a bent knee, yes, but because this ankle is pointed down, the second he hits the ground, let's see if I can get rid of this, hang in there. I'm going to zoom in on him maybe. Nope, not going to let me. Not going to let me. Okay, so when he hits the ground like this with his contact point out here, you're going to see his heel smash to the ground. And when that heel smashes to the ground, it's going to overload the Achilles tendon, it's going to overload the calf, and it's going to overload the plantar fascia. So watch this heel smash to the ground, and then it comes to the ground just through here. All of that recoil is happening pretty much through the backside of the foot and ankle. Where before I talked about people who reach out, straighten their knee, hit their heel first, are tapping the brakes. these runners who land on their forefoot strike, and let me tell you, forefoot strike is not normal unless you're running up a hill or you are sprinting. And this massive forefoot strike is like, the analogy, I'm not very bright, so I use analogies a lot, but the analogy I like to use is like if you were to walk up to the edge of a diving board and jump on the edge of it, and when you lower on the edge and the board sinks down and then bangs its way back up in the air and throws you up in the air, that's the way the Achilles tendon works when you run this way. With the toes pointed down, it's just a huge elastic moment. Your Achilles and your calf are the most elastic tissue in your body. So when you hit the ground, it's just gonna launch you up in the air. And I think we might see that on him. So let's see if I can roll him through. Watch the hang time when this foot leaves the ground. Look at how high up in the air he is. The treadmill's way down here, his foot's off the ground. What goes up must come down, so he's gonna get a lot of extra force. Needless to say, both of these are not the way to run. What you wanna do is you wanna work on landing with the shin vertical and the foot facing straight ahead. So if you imagine a laser coming out your shoe, it should be facing straight ahead. The key to that, if I go back, I'm really gonna try to, let's close this video. Okay, I did it, let's see. All right, so let me just do one little adjustment here. You can see some of the software around this. The key to doing this correctly, and I'm gonna share it with you here so you guys can practice if you wanna try this, is when this leg, let's go ahead and just bring this leg through again. So we're gonna look at this back leg. It just pushed off back here. So this leg is pushing off. And then watch it swing through. What you need to teach yourself is as that leg swings through, you need to get it to a point where the knee is bent, the foot is straight, and you gotta teach yourself to put it straight to the ground. You see here she gets that little extra extension that's coming from the quad, overutilizing her quad, toes pulled up in the air. What we need to do is right here is slow that leg swing down and learn to put it to the ground. If she put her leg down, she would have this position. Ideally, this would be the best position for her so that the ground's not banging into her. There's a trick to doing this. There's different things we learned along the way, different ways to teach this, different drills we use. We use it in Midfoot Project, so if you want to check that out, go to midfootproject.com. Price is going up significantly here in the next couple days, but also you got to be careful when you do this because you don't want to injure your calves. Just please take it slow if you're not going to use my system. We see a lot of people injuring their calves when I'm trying to make the change. So really excited. Midfoot Project starts this month. Go to midfootproject.com if you want to join us for 5 weeks to show you how to improve your run form. And I will talk to you guys soon. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. All right, bye everyone. How do I get out of here? There it is.